So once you have the plugin installed, you're going to see it up here in the top, this top bar, this plugins bar. And if you click it, you're going to see three things: the action menu, the settings menu, and the information menu. We're going to go through all of them, but right now let's focus on the action menu. So this action menu has two little text boxes. One where you should put your token and one where you should put your repo and username. You see right now, if we try to do anything, nothing's going to happen. We're just going to get errors. And that's because we have no information. See this? No information. So what we're going to do, the first thing we're going to do after installing the plugin is actually go to GitHub to get that information. And it's really simple actually. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to here, and then you're going to click settings. And in settings, you're going to scroll down to developer settings. And then once you have that, you're going to go click personal access, and you're going to go to tokens classic, the classic tokens. Then what you're going to do is you're going to generate a new token, just a classic token for general use. Ugh. And then what you're going to do is, I don't know, whatever. You can put a note if you want. You don't really need to. I don't think. And all you need to check is repo for the scope. Nothing else is necessary. I mean, it won't break anything, but it's not really needed. So then you, after doing all that, you click generate token, and you have this beautiful token right here. And so you can copy that, and that thing's not repository specific. This can be used to any repository. And don't worry about having to come back to it because it saves in this. It saves in the plugin. However, if you try to go back to GitHub to look at it, it'll actually be hidden and you'll have to generate a whole new one if you lose this. So, oh no, just keep that in mind. They expire anyways, usually. So, now we got the token and now we need a repository. Even with a token, can't do anything if we don't have anywhere to send stuff. So, we're gonna create a new repository. I got this game, and we're just gonna call it Game Jam. And I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter whether it's public or private. You want to test that out, you can. I'm gonna just put it as private, and I'm gonna create the repository. And so now that I've created a repository, there's nothing in it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna copy this, my username and the name of the repository. That's all I need. That's all I need. I don't need any of that. And so after frick. Well, here I'll just show you. You got all this. I created a repository, and this is all I need right here. This part, my name, my username, and my repository name. And I control X, control V just to make sure I got it, you know. And then we head back over to Studio. And in case you were wondering how to create a repository, I just click this right here. Click New Repository, this button. Okay. So, back to Studio. We're going to paste in that repository name. And now we can look. There's nothing in there. Could create a README just to see. If someone made a README, just to make sure that we're connected to the repository. So we'll go back to Studio and we'll check. We'll refresh. Failed to fetch repository contents. Why is that? Bad credentials. You know what? It must be because it's private. It must be because, so I guess it does matter whether or not your repository is private. Now we know. So we'll just make it public. Make it a public repository. And we'll try again. I'll make sure to put that in the notes. I had no idea if it matters. Okay. So let's try again. There we go. Ah, so I guess I did not fix that problem where you have to pull. So for some strange reason, you have to pull sometimes before everything actually works. I guess I'll get on that. I don't know. Well, anyways, now that that's working, we can load our branch list. We see the only branch we have is main. We could just go over that real quick here. What if we want like a test branch? We'll click this, and then down here it tells us we just need to click enter. So we do that, and it makes the test branch. And then it said over here we got our output, which we can turn off by toggling this. Print only errors versus print everything. And you could refresh your list by loading it. And if you want to change, you just click this. Or you could type it in manually if you want. And if it already exists, it'll just switch to that branch. So we're going to go ahead in main. And we're going to select a few files. Let's see. What do we want? What do we want? This is pretty useful. What's this? Oh, look at that. You select the folder, and it gets all the descendants of the folder. And it keeps that folder structure when you push it to the repository. So you have nothing to worry about. It goes from the game down, so it'll separate them into the different services. So we got data, we got modules. We'll just upload that to main, push it, and you see it's green because it worked. So if you go over here, that's like about a second of green for each one it uploads, and you can see the path. You can see the path, and if we go here, we can see, oh look, there's a new folder, server script service. And if we look inside, we can see data.lua, and we can see all these module scripts. And you're like, oh no, how does it know it's module scripts? Well, let's just take a look. And we got it here. We could look through the script. Oh, and we got this at the top, this letting us know that it's what kind of script it is. So, but what if we want to switch branches? We're looking at main, but we want to switch to test. Oh, but look, why does it say there's stuff in test? see, this is where this button comes in. This is an important button because you click it and it updates it. I might click main, and why didn't it show all my stuff? You click it, updates it. You really need to, because otherwise it won't cause any errors, but it will just make your stuff turn out all weird, which nobody really wants. So we went over all that. I guess we could go over pulling now. There's no like targeted pulling. If you pull, you pull the entire repository. So we're on main right now, aren't we? Yeah. So I'm gonna pull the repository. Oh, oops. Maybe I should just like, oh yeah. Now I'm gonna pull the repository. And look, it's right there, good as new. All of it. This is here, this is here, and it's exactly the same. Exactly the same scripts. With a little metadata there. Try my best to get rid of it. I could probably later. It's not a big deal anyways. And they're the exact same scripts. So that's that. So we went over pushing, went over pulling, viewing the repository, refreshing the Explorer, repository viewer, dragging, went over how to get your information. And this, once again, this token is not repo specific. You don't have to get a new token for every new repo. It is, however, account specific. So, like, I could put any new repository here, and I could use the same token. But if I change the account name, I would not be able to use the same token. I would need a new token under that new account. So, on to the simple part. Even simpler than the rest of that. We have the information tab. And this is just for like, people who don't know what they're doing exactly. You're like, oh, I got this plugin, it looked cool, but how do I use it? Where do I go to learn how to use it? Well, here's the answer. You could double click these, you could highlight them manually, like if you want, but you just double click, you copy it, and then you head over to Google or whatever you want, and you paste it, and you click enter. It'll take you over. And oh, look at that. There's a whole field guide. Whole guide to the plugin. Now, this is an old guide. I haven't updated it to include the latest information, but that's here. You can see the latest update changelog, which explains the new functionalities. I went over the new functionalities in this video anyways, so it's no big deal. So, you could also go to the GitHub repository because this plugin's open source, although you still have to adhere to the Roblox intellectual property guidelines. And then you could also go to the asset store. I don't know, I didn't know what to put there, I can be honest. I guess I could put changelog there. It doesn't matter. Maybe you want to review it, you could go straight to the asset store from here, And this is draggable too. You can't drag it from all of the things. You can't drag them from the top or bottom, but you can drag them from the middle. You have to go in the middle and you can drag them. This big block where there's no rounded corners. So that's that. That's the entire GitSync plugin. And maybe just one more demonstration. What if I want to upload across multiple different services? And we'll do that on test. I mean, we could do it on main, but it doesn't really make a difference. So I'm on the test branch, and let's say I want to upload everything in TurboScript service, but I also want to upload all the scripts in replicated first and all the scripts in starter GUI. You know, I just want to upload them all. I can do that, and it'll separate them just like it did before. You know, I'm gonna move the output like down here just so that we can see it in action. It's kind of satisfying to look at, you know. So let's do this. Push. Confirm. And look, you can see one at a time each script in the directories that are selected is getting pushed. And all of the scripts were pushed. And so if we go into the repository viewer, we could actually see all of this. We could see that they were pushed. Server script service, replicated first, starter GUI, and if you like have nested scripts, it'll turn that script into a folder, as we saw with Control Freak here. Because you look here, I've got scripts inside Control Freak. So what the plugin does is, I mean, you can't nest scripts in GitHub, so it'll just create a folder with the same name as the script, and so you'll know where to parent that stuff. And keep in mind, this stuff, when you pull the directory back, that stuff's not going to be there. It's just going to be scripts and folders. It's a little difficult to save every type of instance in Roblox, especially to GitHub. I guess you could do it in like a JSON file, JSON, you know. But like, it's constantly changing. It's a lot of stuff. Roblox doesn't have any API about it, so we're just sticking to scripts and folders. It's pretty useful. I used it to upload a lot of crap. So that's that. And you will get warnings. It said in branches, in settings, it says printing only errors, but it really doesn't. It warns you, because of course if we threw an error, it would just halt the entire thing and mess up the plugin. So it's really just showing warnings, but you should pay attention to them because they are useful. And if you have any questions, just reach out anyway, you know. Comments, messages, email. There's a lot of ways to reach me. And that's it. You know what? We could actually open a new place. And if we open a new place, if we open a new, like, studio, what's it called? Studio, running instance, whatever. Do once it loads. We got it. Okay, Okay. Okay. All right, we got it. So what we can do in this completely different session of Studio, whoa, holy lag. We can, this is one of the many uses of the GitSync plugin. You could take it and, oh look, I'm in a different game, but, oh my goodness, lag. Everything's still there. I could still access the same repository even from a different game. And maybe I want to take everything from the last game and put it in this game. You know? Maybe I'll just pull everything. Oh, and look at that. Look at that. See, it didn't bring in the sounds because that's quite difficult in Roblox to do. But for directories of scripts, it did everything it needed to do. Look at it. Beautiful. So that's about it for the GitSync plugin for right now. You can't really delete things remotely right now. I could add that, but I haven't yet. And, oh, you know what? I should show. Like, what happens if I pull it twice, you know? Let's see. Oh, it made doubles. Because what were we expecting? We might have been expecting it to just update like the source code of the existing files. But that is irreversible on Roblox, which I found out the scary way when I accidentally pulled an old version of the plugin on top of the version I was usually working on. I mean, currently working on, and I was like, I freaked out, you know? I was like, oh no, it's all gone. But luckily, I had cloned it, so it wasn't actually all gone. But I did, like, change that system because it's kind of dangerous and frustrating, could make a lot of people mad. And yeah, you can undo and redo. There's history steps or whatever, history markers, so you're not gonna like undo and then undo like half your game on accident because of, I know there's some plugins like that. And that's it, people. I hope you have fun with the plugin. Make sure to send me any feedback or suggestions you have. And thanks for watching. I wish you a good day.